Hello everyone, my name is Bella and welcome to this presentation on how to prepare for university. You will hear about ways you can prepare over the summer, hear tips from current students, and hear how you can make the most for your arrival in September. Before we get started, let's do a quick quiz to see what you know. There is also another quiz that you can do, which can be accessed underneath this presentation. So question 1, when living on campus, you can get support from RAs. But what does RA stand for? Pause the video here to give yourself more time to think. Okay, well, RA stands for Resident Assistance. If you have any queries about accommodation, about losing your key, or just where the bins are, they are there to help. Question 2, which of the following is not a real society at the University of Hertfordshire? Again, pause the video here to give yourself more time to think. Well, you may be surprised to hear that all of the above are societies that students can join. Societies are a great way to meet like-minded people and make friends when you arrive at university. Now, let's move on to how you can prepare to start university. But first, let's cover some of the key differences between university to sixth form or college. Unlike sixth form or college, where you may need to refer to your teachers as sir or miss, at university, typically you will be on a first name basis with all staff. It is less formal at university, and you will be treated more as colleagues rather than students. Because of this, it is a much more mature environment. At university, there are no assemblies. You may be used to having one every week or maybe one every morning, but at university, this is not the case. Any important news will be posted via the university's social media platforms and to your student portal. At university, all of the students have chosen to be there, and everyone on your course has chosen that specific course. This means that you will meet like-minded people who are passionate about the same subject as you. At university, not only will you meet people from all over the UK, but also from all over the world. When I was a student, I made friends with people from Canada, America, Germany, Bangladesh, India, China, and more, all of whom I still keep in contact with to this day. At university, it is likely that you will only have one lesson per week for each module that you study. Lessons tend to last between 2 to 3 hours. This means that you will have a lot of free time. However, you will need to do more independent study than you would probably have done at college or sixth form. Independent study is just doing assignment work outside of structured lesson time. If you get stuck, you will always have the email address of your lecturers, and you will be able to organise one-to-one meetings with them to go over any draft work or queries. Most people who go to university do it because it is a chance to gain more independence, to study a degree in a subject that you are passionate about, and even further specialise towards your own interests. University is also a great opportunity to discover new interests that you may have never considered before and meet new friends who you may not have met otherwise. Now, let's move on to how you can prepare for the student part of being a university student. Many universities put their reading lists online weeks before their courses begin, or they will send you the details via email. This will give you an idea of what to expect from your workload, and getting a head start on the reading will build your confidence for when you start lectures. You don't need to own every book on the list. Identify the core texts and buy these. Any others you need will be available to borrow from your university library or to buy from former students for a fraction of their original price. Take this opportunity to explore your subject before you start and just keep your eye in with reading. No worries if you aren't given one beforehand. Look at some of the modules on your course to familiarise yourself with what you'll be covering in your first year. You can always visit the local library. There are lots of free online courses to help keep your eye in whilst you are off for the summer. Of course, you are going to want to rest for your studies, but you can easily fit in an hour or two a week. There are also courses available to develop your academic writing, critical and analytical skills, report writing, improving study techniques, and referencing skills for university. Now, you have probably been told by your teachers and your parents that organisation is key, and they are not wrong. Organisation is an important skill in all aspects of life, but particularly for university. It's important to manage your workload whilst you're here at university. The more organised you are, the easier it will be to keep on top of your assignments and exams, which means that you can enjoy your free time and relax without worrying about tasks you haven't done yet. Your contact hours will be timetabled in a variety of ways, either as lectures, seminars, tutorials, practical lessons, or through placements. What you study will determine how your contact hours will be timetabled. Please attend all of your timetabled activities. Various research studies have found a correlation between university students attending their timetabled activities and those same students getting the higher marks. So the easiest way that you can ensure you succeed at university is simply by attending your lectures and other timetabled activities. Mark on your calendar when your deadlines for assignments and exams are. Most universities have free calendars that they give away at the beginning of the academic year during Freshers Week. These are really useful as they are structured clearly and generally fit onto the back of doors, which is where mine was. I did this so I was reminded of my deadlines every day. Going back to the importance of independent study, you are advised to do 3 to 4 hours of independent study per module per week. Obviously, this will be different for everyone and will depend on how best you learn, but do try to fit in a little bit of independent study each week for each module that you do, not just your favourite ones. Remember, university requires more independent study than you were probably used to at college or sixth form, and a majority of your assignments and revision will take place in your independent study time. So what do our students say about being organised at university? Well, the library gets very busy when assignments and exams are due. Get there early. Make sure you book independent study spaces and laptops in advance. Don't leave your referencing until the end. Make notes as you go along of the book title, the author, and page number of where you found the quote or information. Being a course representative or community organiser is a great way to get to know your lecturers really well, which is great when you need help or advice. On the topic of independence, some of you may be considering moving away from home for the first time. It is exciting, although it is perfectly normal to feel nervous. So how can you prepare? If you are planning on moving away from home, it is a good idea to start making a list of all the things you want to bring, from important documents to medicines to stationery, clothes, entertainment systems. There is a lot to think about and consider. To give you a head start, you can access our guide for packing underneath this presentation. One thing I want to address specifically though is to bring something from home. This can be photos, a favourite blanket, a pillow, posters, or something from your room. Everyone who goes to university will get homesick at some point, and having something from home in your accommodation can be a real comfort. In addition to this, make sure you cool home regularly, even if it is just to catch up. If you're a bit rusty in the kitchen, then the summer is the perfect time to get practicing. Learn how to make your favourite family meals, some fakeaways, or meals that you could cook with your housemates. Cooking your own meals is a lot cheaper and healthier than buying takeaways every week. Plus, if you cook in bulk, it means that you'll be able to have meals ready in the fridge or freezer for days where you don't feel like cooking. When you go shopping, try switching to own brand products. This is the easiest way to make your money last longer, and more often than not, it is exactly the same quality. Being a student means that you will also have exclusive access to student discounts. So always keep an eye out to see what is available. For example, Co-op currently have 10% off for students. If you are really struggling to find recipes for classic family favourites, most seasoning mixes will include an ingredients list and a recipe on the back of them. For example, I had never made a sausage casserole before I went to university, but it turned out to be one of my favourite meals to make. So whilst you are out shopping, have a look at the seasoning mixes. See if there's something you like the look of, and who knows, it could become your new favourite meal. If you are in the fortunate position of having your laundry done on your behalf, make sure you practice washing your clothes before you go to university. This will also give you the chance to find out what product is being used to wash your clothes. Finding this out means that you can make your clothes smell like home, even though you're at university. I did this and it was a massive comfort. Think about what you might want to take with you. You might want to pop to IKEA, Wilko, or B&M to pick up a few bits and pieces. But remember, you don't need to get too much. Check to see what is included in your accommodation and perhaps wait until you arrive to get more specific items. If you are in a flat with 6 or 7 others and you all bring 2 pans, a wok and a frying pan, that's a lot of cookware. It might seem early to start thinking about your budget, but it can't hurt to get an idea of how much you have per semester. When you start, there will be lots of social activities taking place, and you might find your funds dwindling quite quickly. So having a budget will allow you to know what you can spend and when you need to limit. You may want to use the summer to get a part-time job or carry on with the one you have and get more hours. It is always good to go to uni with a bit of money saved up, but also it takes a couple of days for your student loan to go into your bank account once you have registered. We asked our students for advice when it comes to moving into accommodation, and this is what they said. When you're in your room, prop the door open so people can come and talk to you, especially during the first few weeks. Don't leave your laundry or washing up to fester. Don't make judgments about people. Some of my best friends at uni are people I thought were weird when I first met them. And here are my top tips for you. Decide on house rules with your flatmates early. This means that everyone is on the same page, particularly when it comes to cleaning. Off the back of this, decide on a cleaning schedule, which will be weekly or fortnightly, whatever you decide. Will you take it in turns to put the bins out or do the washing up, etc.? Be open-minded. As I said, you will be meeting people from all over the world, from different cultures and backgrounds, so please be respectful. Plan your get-togethers around everyone's deadlines. You won't be very popular with your housemates if you host a social the day before their major exam. Effective communication is key. Speak to your flatmates in person and avoid leaving notes. It's easy to misinterpret a note or take it out of context. And finally, don't eat food that isn't yours. This is a very easy way to lose friends. Something that we have found across all schools, colleges, and sixth forms that we visit is that everyone is nervous about fitting in when they start university. The good news is everyone will be in the exact same boat as you and worried about the same thing. So, what can you do to start making friends at university? Well, most universities have social media accounts that you can follow before you start studying there. What is better is that sometimes the subject areas will have their own social media accounts too. This gives you the opportunity to talk to staff within the university from your chosen subject before you start and link with students who are also interested in your subject area. At the beginning of the academic year, students from all years of study will participate in Freshers Week. This gives you the chance to pick up freebies, enjoy tasty treats, and mingle with the university's student community. Although Freshers Fair is a big event, there are other events and opportunities that are held throughout the academic year. The dates of these events will pop up on your student portal and on the university's social media accounts, and you can decide whether it is something that you would like to get involved with. Every university will have a student union, and they're responsible for all the activities on campus, trips off campus, societies, and day-to-day happenings. Up on the screen are just some of the activities that our student union has run. Most of the activities are free to take part in. All you need to bring is your student ID card, and you can do as much or as little as you like. You might already have an idea of what you want to get involved with when you get to university. However, it is also an amazing opportunity to try something new, maybe something that you have never considered or even heard of before. That's what Shandi did, one of our psychology students, when she arrived here. She took part in our community garden and used it as her escape from study. Most universities will have a list of societies that you can join. The best way I can describe a society, as opposed to something like a sport club, is that they tend to surround hobbies, but not always. Here at Herts, we have over 120 different societies that you can join. And if there isn't one that you like the look of, you could potentially found your own with support from the Student Union. If you ask anyone who has graduated from university, they will say that it was the best years of their lives. These are transformative years, and from time to time, you may find that you need extra support. This is called pastoral support, and every university will have a wide range of support that you can access. If you need support, who can you go to? It's important to know that you are not alone at university and you have a huge support network around you. You can talk to your course mates, housemates, or family if you just want to get it off your chest. However, if you want to know more about the support on offer, speak to any member of staff and they will not only be able to tell you what support is on offer, but also point you in the direction of the appropriate team to contact. The support at university covers every area imaginable, from physical and mental health to accommodation queries to childcare support. Every university will have a student wellbeing team. They are trained healthcare professionals who specialise in supporting students. Their services are wide-ranging, but to give you a feel for what they offer, at Herts, our student wellbeing team offers disability services, including help with disabled students allowance applications, or DSA as it's known shorthand, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. They also offer a wide variety of mental health support, including specialist mentoring, therapy, free workshops, help with referrals to other services, counselling. But wait, there is still more support available here. Universities will have a student centre who you can contact with any and all queries. You can speak to our Students' Union if you want to find out about part-time work or volunteering opportunities or activities that are just generally going on campus. We have a multi-faith space on each of our campuses, and there's also a wide variety of academic support too. And finally, our careers and employment team can help you with finding part-time work, help you with applications for work placements, and can help you with finding a job for up to 3 years after you graduate. This means if you don't like your first graduate job after a year, you can come back to us and we will support you in finding your dream job. In addition to all of the support we have mentioned already, there is also financial support available too. Universities will offer a wide variety of bursaries, grants, scholarships, and the government also offer their own variations too. Again, there is also DSA, or Disabled Student Allowance, and I'll go over what that is a little bit later on. For most of you, university will be the first time that you will be independently managing your finances. So what can you do to help make your money last longer and go further? One of the many benefits of being a student is the exclusive access to student discounts, which can be very handy for purchasing any student essentials, such as travel cards, contents insurance, laptops, etc. The 3 main student discount websites that are used are Totem, Student Beans, and Unidays. You can set up a digital account with Totem for free. Alternatively, you can get a Totem card, either as the standard card or as an official form of ID. There is currently a discount available that allows you to get the Totem card for 3 years for the price of 2. Being a student also means that you can apply to set up student bank accounts. These will be like normal current accounts, but will likely have some form of 0% overdraft. In addition to this, they may also come with other freebies, such as travel cards, gift cards, etc. Universities will have an extensive list of scholarships. Some will be for academic achievement, others for sporting achievements. There are even some scholarships that are specific to an area of study. You should be able to view the scholarships that our university offers on the website. I have previously mentioned DSA on a couple of slides, but what is it? Well, Disabled Students Allowance, or DSA, as it's known shorthand, is a form of non-repayable support, so you get to keep what you receive. That is available to anyone with a physical disability, a long-standing medical condition or illness, such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, epilepsy, etc., a serious sensory impairment, such as visual or hearing, that cannot be corrected by glasses, a social communication impairment, such as Asperger's syndrome or other autistic spectrum disorders, mental health conditions, such as anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, etc., or specific learning difficulties, such as dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADD, ADHD, etc. DSA is available university-wide. And you can also apply for DSA at the same time as when you apply for student finance. Alternatively, if you have already completed your student finance application, The university student wellbeing team can help you with the process. Every year, over 60% of students miss out on financial support, either because they didn't know it existed or because they didn't think they were eligible. When I went to university, I didn't think I was eligible for a DSA, when in fact, because of my generalized anxiety disorder, I was. This is sadly the case for grants, bursaries, and scholarships too. The Scholarship Hub reported that more than £150 million worth of scholarships are going unclaimed every year. So after this presentation, please, 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 from the bottom of my heart, go and do your research. What could be available to you? Even if it is just looking at the strangest bursary or scholarship with your friends, you lose nothing by having a look. We now come to arriving at your chosen university. What can you expect? Well, stage 1 registration is an online process. You will receive an email inviting you to complete stage 1 registration, normally around 40 days before your course is due to start. You should follow the instructions in your invitation email and upload a photo to be used on your student record and ID card. Stage 2 of registration will require you to upload copies of appropriate ID to our registration document portal, along with any relevant documentation relating to how your tuition fees will be funded. Usually, this will be a copy of your student loan entitlement letter. You will complete your registration at the university and receive your student ID card. It's important to note that registration is a separate process to applying and moving into accommodation or starting your classes. This is something I would get asked a lot. What piece of advice would I tell my past self to help me prepare for university? And I would say that there's no reason to worry as much as I did. And I'm about to have the best years of my life. I was so worried on the lead up to university that I was ill a few times. So just reassurance that I made the right choice and that the years ahead are going to be amazing. I'm quickly going to cover some frequently asked questions before we finish up. In terms of contact hours, they will be different depending on what you study. They could be lectures, seminars, tutorials, practicals, lab sessions, etc. You might even have the chance to go study abroad or go on field trips or do a work placement year. What is independent study? Well, this is just any work that you do for your course outside of structured contact hours. Remember that the university will require more independent study than you probably would have done at college or sixth form. So I would recommend learning how to use the library. Now, in terms of assessments or how your course will be marked, it depends on the course. Most courses will have a breakdown of how each module will be assessed as a percentage, either through exams, coursework, or practical assessments. Remember that coursework can include poster presentations, group work, regular presentations where you do it on your own, or written assignments, but there are others too. What support is on offer and how can I access it? We covered some of the support that is available earlier, but there are specific teams that you can get in contact with before you start at university if you do have any questions. Such teams include the Student Centre, our fees and funding team, our accommodation team, student wellbeing, the International Office, the Immigration Office, and many more. If you have any questions, just ask and we will be more than happy to help. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do have any questions with regards to the University of Hertfordshire, you can contact us by emailing ask@herts.ac.uk or by calling 01707 284 000. I wish you all the absolute best of luck with your studies, and I can't wait to welcome you to campus in September.